Blessed my people, welcome back. You see me? So peeps, today we're gonna talk about a very promising female dancehall artist whose journey was cut short under tragic circumstances. And the artist that we're talking about is the late J Capri. You know, J Capri is a female dancehall artist who break onto the scene with a bang. You know, Russian was the one who kind of introduced her, and she do a collaboration with Conscience, which was a hit song, you understand people. So J Capri did have a little vibe going for her, you know what I mean? Great potential, and her musical journey and her dreams of becoming a successful artist were shattered just like the windshield in her vehicle when it collided into the wall, you know what I mean people. So we're gonna take a little look at her musical journey, as also the tragic circumstances under which she lost her life. So people, J Capri, whose right name is Jordan Joel Phillips. People, I don't want you all to get me wrong, you know. Her name is Jordan Joel Phillips. I don't know if her father and mother wanted a son at that time. They did not get a son, so they decided to give her that name. But you know, that name is used by both men and women. You know what I mean? Depends on how the parent views it. They get me as a people. And she is the daughter of a talented Jamaican DJ that goes by the name Mr. Murphy, otherwise known as Kenneth Phillips. Her mother is a cosmetologist whose name is Ardell Carwin. So her mother is a cosmetologist and her father did music. So basically, music done in our bloodline already. J Capri was born on the 24th of December in the year 1991 in Kingston, Jamaica. From a very young age, she expressed her interest in music. And when I say a very young age, I mean like 4 years old, 5 years old. You understand people? Her aspirations for herself were great. You know, she wanted to become the most versatile and consistent female dancehall artist in Jamaica. Some of her main influences as it relates to music are her cousin Chad Phillips, otherwise known as Dajre, you know, Patra, Vybz Kartel, Lauryn Hill, Aaliyah, Beyonce, Bob Marley, and a whole host of other high caliber entertainers in the business. But you know, ever since Jordan was 6 years old, she has always known that her destiny in life is to become a musician, because that was her dream. That is all she wanted to be. Jordan used to attend the St. Richard's Primary School, where her talent was recognized one day at a singing competition. She was quite nervous during the competition because she felt pressured. You know what I mean? When you want to be a musician, you want this thing so much, it's as if you put unnecessary pressure on yourself. And she was very young. I mean, she was just 6 years old. You know what I mean? So she was very nervous, and as a result of her nervousness, she ended up losing the competition. But however, that was when people realized that this young girl, even though she did not win the competition, she was a special talent, you know what I mean? So she was feeling disappointed, yes, in herself, because, you know, she wanted to win. Maybe she was feeling that she let her father down and so on and so forth. But that was when people knew that she was destined for greatness. So after finishing primary school, she moved on to attending Wolmer's Trust High for girls. And her move from the primary settings to the high school settings, she started to have a different outlook on life and people on a whole. Whilst in high school, she made time to do her music. She still do a little performing. She still write her little song them and so on and so forth. But she managed to write her music as also to record music whilst she remained an A+ student in the school. So it was very obvious that Jordan was filled with potential. The experiences she went through at Wolmer's, both good and bad, made her realize that she was born with a wonderful talent that should not be hidden. At the age of 17 years old, she attended Exeter Community College, where she studied performing arts. Then she went on to attending Edna Mandy School of the Visual and Performing Arts. She met people who inspired her creative outlook on fashion, music, art, and dance. However, when she was in the last semester of her first year in Edna Manley, she was blessed with the opportunity of meeting Terry Johnson, popularly known as Russian. And you know, Russian is the CEO, the owner of Concussion Records. For years, Jordan was open to work with Russian if she ever decided to seriously become a dancehall artist. So when she met Russian, she was very excited and could not wait to start working with him. It was basically like a dream come true for young Jordan. She was as a dancehall lover and wondered daily about what she would be like as a dancehall superstar. But she was always more into R&B, people? Dancehall artists, but people have them preference, So eventually she'd have planned for crossover anyway. When Jordan met with Russian, he asked her to write her first dancehall song. Russian was very impressed with what she came up with and decided to produce a hit song with Sean Dizzy, who was creating a big buzz with his hit song, Strange Face. Jordan was very excited to work with Sean Dizzy. She admired his versatility. Jordan's first official song was released in November 2011. A song titled Nicest Feeling. People? The song was very well received in Trinidad and Tobago and Florida. It also had over 400,000 views on YouTube. After releasing that song, she started to get some attention. You get me, I say, people? Yeah, man. So J Capri started to generate a big buzz after she released a hit song, Wine and Catch, with popular dancehall artist Charlie Black, produced by Russian. Also, the song went to number 1 on iTunes in over 7 countries, such as Netherlands, France, Trinidad and Tobago, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and a lot more countries. As a result of the song's success in these countries, J Capri was asked to tour in these countries, Paris, France, Trinidad and Tobago, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and so on and so forth. And people, Russian is the type of producer who knows how to keep the momentum going. So what Russian did after was keep the momentum going by seeking collaboration with other hot dancehall acts, such as Conscience. J Capri and Conscience released a hit song together. Conscience had no hesitation to record with J Capri, even though at that time Conscience was one of the hottest dancehall artists. J Capri was generating a big buzz in dancehall, and she was loved by many dancehall artists. You get me, I say, people? Yeah, man. Everybody saw her potential, and she was on a short road to riches and greatness. It's alleged that on November the 23rd, 2015, J Capri was driving her motor vehicle along the Barbican Main Road when she lost control of the vehicle, and the vehicle ran off the road, hitting a wall. This caused a lot of damage to J Capri. People? Yeah, man, she even had a fractured skull. She was rushed to the University of the West Indies Hospital, where she underwent emergency surgery. On arrival, her injuries were so serious that they had to induce coma on her. So, they were trying to save her. She survived for about 2 weeks in the hospital before she eventually passed away. On the 4th of December in the year 2015, she fought a hard fight, but she did not make it out. So, J Capri was pronounced dead, sending the whole entire dancehall community into mourning, as also her close friends and family members. And it was also as a result of her death, Lady Saw decided that she was going to take up this Christian thing serious and went into her church and got baptized. Yeah, people, because Lady Saw really felt that one. I guess it was close to home somewhere or the other. But J Capri, a very promising young lady, and to lose her life like that, people, a very sad situation. Only God knows our journey, and God knows where we are to be. We can only see the potential in people, but only God knows if that person is going to reach to where we think they are going to reach, or if that person's journey is going to be cut short along the way, sending some people into disappointment. There were a lot of speculations when she passed away that, is a sacrifice. People say a sacrifice, Russian sacrifice her, and so on and so forth. So, some people say a bad mind, some people say a hobia, and so on and so forth. You get me, I say, people. But, people are going to always have them opinion, which they are all entitled to. That doesn't mean it is factual. Yeah, man, it means it's true. But at the end of the day, what is truth is, if you're an entertainer, and you're doing a lot of driving, especially if you have to go studio, you have to go shows and so on, it is best for you to have a driver, somebody who is designated to drive, because a lot of times if artists go even studio, they have to put in some work, and it is very tiring on the brain to be creative. Because a lot of these artists go to the studio, and when they go to the studio, that is where they actually create the music, you know what I mean? Them listen to the beat, them find the melody, and them create the words. So it take a lot of brain work, it kind of drain them, and if you go on a stage, go perform, I will leap up and no clean still, you get me? I say, some of the time them put in a little alcohol in them system too. A very, very sad situation as it relates to J Capri, you know what I mean, people. But we have to always remember the ones who had the potential that didn't get really far. And this is also to enlighten the potential dancehall entertainers out there that no matter how bright your future look, if you are not careful, your journey can end up being cut short. Also, so anyway, peeps, that is my view as it relates to J Capri. You can leave your views in the comment section. As also, you can like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
Tell us where you reside at the moment, because I am under the impression that you're not even in Jamaica more than so.
Oh my God, no, I'm always on tour, so maybe that's why I get it confused.
You're always on tour?
Yes, I'm on tour at least once a month. I travel very often to Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So your fan base is mostly in Europe?
Mostly in Europe, yes. And I do a few small island shows, but that's the reason why I believe that I may not be out here.
Okay, so where did you get the break? Did you get it? Would you say you break here in Jamaica or overseas first?
I would say I, really got recognition overseas because it really took off for me after Wine and Catch hit #1 on iTunes in France. And ever since that, Charlie Black went on tour, and then he persuaded the promoter to bring me over there so we could do a couple shows. And ever since that, I've been doing many shows in Holland, France, so many other places in Europe. I went to Trinidad, I went to Curacao, Panama, a lot of places.
All right, so let's stay with Europe a little bit, because what accounts for your popularity, your breakaway, so to speak, in France and the rest of Europe?
Well, what I've been told is that I have a certain uniqueness to my style, and they believe that I'm a really good performer. I also believe I'm a good performer. So I think that is why a lot of promoters are willing to, send me over there from Jamaica. So, yeah.
Oh, so you're a fantastic performer.
I wouldn't say fantastic. There's always room for improvement, but, I like to engage with the audience and just really put on a show. So,
okay,
yeah.
Great. So talk a little bit about where you're from in Jamaica, your community and stuff.
I'm from Kingston. I used to go to Wilma's. I grew up with my mother up until I was about 8, and then after that I grew up in an extended family. My grandmother, my father, my aunt, my cousins, and we're all really into music and stuff like that. So a lot of my influence is from my father, who was also an artist back in the day.
And what's his name?
Murphy. Glamour Murphy, yes.
Glamour
he wasn't
Murphy.
Big like that, but he knew a few people, he knew Mr. Vegas, he knew Bounty Killer, so Beanie Man. So he was in the industry a little bit, but he didn't get that big break.
So from Kingston, where in Kingston exactly?
I'm from Bull Bay, Kingston, and then I moved to Ligoni with my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so talk about school. Wilma's, you only went to high school.
I went to
Did
Wilma's.
you graduate?
Yes, I graduated and I went to Exed Community College, and then after that I didn't complete my course at Exed. I then moved on to Edna Manley, and I still didn't complete my course because that is when I met Roshan. I met Roshan in my second year of going to Edna Manley, and it was just a really, really good opportunity, and I didn't know how to manage music and school because they both took up a lot of time. With school you have a lot of.
So what were you doing at Edna?
I was doing music.
You're doing music?
Yes.
And have you benefited from what you had
Yes,
learned?
I've benefited a lot because you can't just sing alone. You have to know about the backgrounds of music. Even how to read music can help you a lot, because if you're in studio and you're working with a producer and they play a certain key that you're singing, at least you can say, oh, that's a G, that's a A minor, that's something. So it really helps. It's very beneficial.
Can you imagine if you had finished?
Yeah, trust me. But I don't regret my decision because I met Roshan. you know, it was a good experience with him, and I was open to so many opportunities. I got to tour and everything, so I have no regrets.
You kept talking about Russia.
Yes, he's my
Russia
manager.
is your manager?
Yes.
And producer as well?
Yes, producer.
Okay. Who else is in your team?
Well, Shandiz is a part of Head Concussion Records. Sensi is a part of Head Concussion Records. So yeah, and then you have other affiliates.
Okay. So where are you heading, Jay?
Where am I heading?
Where are you heading? Where are you going with this?
I see myself as an international artist because, honestly speaking, I knew nothing really about dancehall growing up. I did just love how it sound, and I was in love with Patra and Lady Saw back in the day because they took it to that international level, and I feel like dancehall has a very big impact on not just Jamaica but the world itself, because I mean I've seen it. So I really just want to merge this dancehall flavor that I've developed with this R&B flavor that I've had for years and years, and just really take it to a different level, you know. I see myself, you see, like how Sean Paul really did wonders in dancehall, I mean, on the international scene for dancehall. That's kind of what I want to do, or bigger.
So international was your target from the onset?
Yes.
And still so?
Yes.
And hence you've made progress.
Yes.
You're winning because your numbers are impressive.
Surprisingly, I really didn't expect it.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can tell us about your immediate future, what's in it, and if anything in it for home country, Jamaica.
Okay, well, I have a new song produced by Kimani MLMG, Major Label Music Group. It's called Heat My Love.